I'm excited to see what they try to do with this kind of weird lane setup.
Definitely find out very, very soon. But right now, it's all about those bounty runes, and you can see that they definitely want to secure themselves several. I'm interested to see also, you know, how much impact do you think CIS is going to have? We saw him in game number 1. It seemed like he was doing quite a bit, especially when he was paired up with the Mars and like some +1, right? Is it still going to be as easy for him here?
I mean, I think it seems like he's a very good bounty player, so I have faith in that sense. I think what just feels better is that it didn't seem like he made too many massive mistakes himself, so as long as they have like equal early to mid-game play as last game, that they will have a harder carry with the Sven. And Sven should be able to farm about as fast as Wraith King does. So as long as he gets out of the laning stage without being severely punished, I have some decent confidence in him.
Well, we're already seeing some pokes and prods over here. As he goes after Seneko, but
he got one tango and he burned away half of like 3/4 of Seneko's HP. So decent start to the laning stage. It'll make it a little bit easier for Pugna.
And yeah, the middle lane is going to be a bit of a repeat as last time. But again, it all comes down to, you know, once FN gets that 6, if he's going to be able to make these rotations, find kills, and make the space for his king there.
Yep, and they started with the tri-lane bottom, but the bounty will head top so that he can protect the Pugna 3. Already got a sentry set up, too.
Yep.
So far going okay for Puck, though. Getting some damage into immersion, the benefits of being a ranged hero.
How much do you love the Puck 5, though, I guess is the question. Because, you know, we've been seeing some peculiar 5s being dragged out. We've seen, I think, we also saw, like, the Death Prophet 5 at one point, too. Like, this seems to be a patch where we're seeing a lot of different types of supports coming out. Not that we haven't seen the Puck before, but...
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it was something they had planned with the Puck pick, but they like, it's very important to pick heroes that have lane variability in the draft stage. Otherwise, it makes it a little bit easy for your opponents to end up countering you in terms of drafting. So they're forced into this less ideal lane setup for draft advantages. But what's really important, I think, is just that you know, Puck's a ranged hero. He's going to be a little bit weak outside of using his ulti for a long stage of the game. So that's what ends up usually being difficult, and that ganking and killing him ends up being easier for the same reasons. Doesn't necessarily have a Eul's to protect himself or a Blink Dagger at a good time. So, you know, as long as he doesn't get, as long as he lane stabilizes, it'll be fine. But there will certainly be some lackings in terms of disable once their opponents get BKB, for example.
Yeah, that is going to be a huge problem for them. And of course, as a Puck 5, you're not getting that Ags anytime soon. So.
Yep.
The idea is good, and I know Kyle's particularly, he really hates seeing that opening with both of the supports right away. So having, you know, the flexibility is very important, but you have to be careful too. You don't draft yourself kind of into a corner.
Yep, and Live to Win did open with double supports, but both Caudle and the Earth Spirit as a duo support is really effective. Caudle is so good at basically offsetting and getting space for your carry to go jungle without losing any map control or needing to go fight there, for example. So it ends up working out really well, and the Earth Spirit is obviously very variable too.
A little bit of a chase here coming out for CIS here, but just kind of getting the attention of DR for this time being. Otherwise, pretty quiet so far, you know? A little bit different from our last game, right, Purge?
I mean, we're only 3 minutes in, of course, but yeah, I mean, we don't. It's not like Ursa versus a melee hero off lane, so the Legion and the Sven will probably be a little bit passive here. Merchant blocks the small camp once again. They're doing a really good job with this. They did get a double small pull off here for Seneko. Zayas was able to interrupt it earlier, but not so much now. But on the bright side, Pugna can definitely clear this with Nether Blast, so that'll offset that. Maybe they can kill Seneko here.
They're definitely putting in the effort. And Pugna, of course, very, very speedy, chasing after Seneko. A couple of hits with that Uvo also helps. Need to get one more hit. Zayas should be able. Oh, he's got the charges though. It's still gonna be a kill going to the side of NoTechies.
Nice grab, and now boots on Pugna as well. It's gonna make him very fast and limit Wraith King's ability to harass him too. So that's what's kind of cool about this. And one of the negatives actually of having like a Caudle 5 is that Caudle does not contribute well to ganks outside of getting solar bind. So until he grabs that, Pugna is actually gonna be really survivable and able to play this solo, which is then gonna free up the space for Bounty Hunter to go do other stuff on the map. So definitely really good that they can play a Bounty hero against Caudle in this sense if they have a self-sustaining like 3-position hero.
Some fast fingers over here on Seneko too, as he manages to snap up that bounty rune right before bounty. And luckily too, you know, the bottle just got delivered over there to FN, and well, rather, he got to trade it off, right? The water boy situation where someone TPs into your lane, refills your bottle for free, so it doesn't matter that he snapped up that illusion.
A little bit of pressure here. Just followed him to steal 12 of his gold. Nothing nothing weird here. Possibly stop him from stacking camps, but basically just trying to keep Caudle out of the game. And he's doing a great job at that, actually. Because Caudle normally is a really good support here in the sense that he can interrupt pulls easy. He can blast waves from safety, but now because he can't let Bounty Hunter get on top of him because of the invisibility advantage, it's just really difficult. Bounty's also pretty fast. So he's able to keep an eye on Caudle and limit him from being able to get stuff done. Caudle is now a courier, by the way. He's got a Blades of Attack on him. That's what he's relegated to at the moment.
He's mugging an old man over here. Man, Zayats, come on now. But
how can he fight him? Bounty has 8 armor. He's got 1. Like, there's no way the trade will ever be favorable here for him. So all he can do is stack and pull, basically.
Zayats being a good thorn in his side, like you said. And look at all of that damage from just 1 hit. Feels really bad if you're Sneko right now. Look at this. Can't even pull the wave. Zayats
He's just going to have to tank this, but it's fine. Oh, he does get it.
Oh, nice. Surprised he was able to grab that.
Yeah, got the creeps to attack him just once, and with his high movement speed, he dragged it over. So finally accomplishes something good. It's almost at level 3. He'll blast this one now. It's fun to watch these support battles. I'm focusing too much on it, sorry.
No, they're interesting, definitely. You know, we always highlight the plays of, you know, the cores, but to be honest, right now the cores are just very much busy farming. So you can watch a little action somewhere else. I don't think that's anything to apologize for.
It looks pretty even. The only disadvantage is that Sven's a little bit behind where Wraith King is in terms of last hits. He's about 8 behind. But we kind of expected that too. Legion Commander's a pretty strong laning hero. He's got really high base damage, and Sven is a little bit more vulnerable to getting killed now with Void Spirit rotating down here, further putting Sven slightly behind in terms of laning. So level 4 and now level 5 on level 4 and Sven. Oh, sorry.
DR was taking a lot of damage there with the roll forward here. Malik, can he get out in time? He's got the Fairy Fire, he's got the Decrepify, is also now solo, makes his way top. A couple more hits plus the Illusory Warp will be able to take down Immersion.
For the big fight.
But that's, okay, everybody just left the bottom lane apparently on the side of NoTechies. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Looks like Sven went mid briefly here, and now is going to commit to jungling. This is definitely the downside for their lineup here, that Sven is having a tough laning stage and feels a little bit too vulnerable bottom. So jungling at a small camp this early doesn't feel good for Sven, but maybe he can accelerate this in some way. On the bright side, at least Mars is still doing well. So
that's true. What does feel good is if you're this Legion commander, because now all of a sudden you have uncontested farm, and you are going to be a playmaker. You're going to be a person trying to initiate, try to get these duels off. And you're just pretty happy with not having to fight for last hits or have anybody bother you. Like, you are seeing some people rotate down now, right? You're seeing Solo come back, and Puck is fairly slippery, wants to get some of those levels. Ergon felt like he wanted to make this rotation. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's kind of running around in a circle, maybe hoping to, you know, start farming up some of those lovely neutral items as we have hit the 7-minute mark here. But Sword keeping a good eye on him, too.
Good way to spend his time for sure. Yeah, Solo just rotates over because the tower's being pressured due to nobody being there, so free levels for him. And the fact that he can nuke from range makes it pretty safe. In some ways, Afterlife wants people to be in his lane though, because he wants to be able to get dual kills, pressure heroes. Instead, it's just going to be Sven kind of slowly farming and being pretty inefficient. He just cleared a stack camp. That was a large camp, and now he has to go heal.
Oh, they're going to try to get this kill on the Pugna because the Decrep was already used here. So, yep, down goes the Pugna. And it looks like Zayats is next as they draw him right back in with that Aether Remnant. And FN gets a kill for his rotation.
Huge fight. And this is the weakness of having these ranged int-type heroes as off lanes. If you do rotate heroes into position, it's really easy to kill you typically because you're not as tanky as strength heroes. So he ends up getting punished in a big double kill there.
It is interesting, though, to note here that Ergon has been spending a lot of time just hanging out here in this mid lane. Would like to see him possibly make a rotation, right? Because he is, you know, he's Mars. He's got the arena. I guess maybe they need another +1, though, that's going to be able to do enough damage within it, too, but...
I'd say, like, rotating on Mars here is hard this game because the 2 heroes that you'd be ganking is either a Wraith King, who's just going to pop Reincarnation, and that's not a good trade for your time generally, or he could gank Legion Commander, and Legion Commander is pretty high HP. He's got phase boots, and ganking the safe lane is a little bit difficult usually as well. So he is going to rotate down here to try to make something happen. Legion's the easier kill, but this ward is going to spot him. It's going to make it hard to get this kill, especially if Afterlife plays careful.
So is this a problem with the draft then, that they just don't have enough damage to be placing in the arena to get this momentum going from him early?
It's not more damage, it's more the fact, like, they have damage, they could rotate heroes over, but it's difficult to rotate multiple heroes over, and if you do and it doesn't work, then you're getting really far behind in farm. So Sven has to basically AFK jungle. I mean, hypothetically, if Sven didn't have a tough lane and was still here, then this rotation is great. It's an easy kill. Sven pops ulti, and you kill the offlane guy. But Sven needs to hit creeps, and he's trying to catch up in the jungle to do so. So that's why it's difficult for them to make easy rotations for Mars. And on the bright side, he did get the mid tower down to about half HP by sticking mid a lot. So they have a small advantage there, but you know, the game is effectively even.
Looks like they're making the right plays. They do have some nice stacks though over here on the side that Zayats will definitely spot out.
They're gonna find Sven.
Crystallize. Has that nice Stormhammer, but it's not enough because he gets dragged right back in. Again, they invade and they get a kill. Aragon, though, trying to find an opening. Looks like they should be able to get the kill on this Void Spirit, although he pops the Fairy Fire. Is he going to be able to? No. Is eventually taken down now. Immersion will also pay for being over in their triangle.
Okay, ultimately worth it. I mean, Sven was so dead as soon as he gets spotted there. They don't have any wards to protect their jungle. They have vision deep behind the tier 1 top, but like the fact that Sven's getting killed like this is not good. His net worth is pretty significantly behind most of the other cores right now. But at least they get those return kills.
At the very least, they get that. Spear's gonna come out. Oh, the Centaur Stomp, though, over onto Wraith King. It's gonna buy them a little bit more time, and they have a decent amount of burst. So the roll forward, though, coming out from Immersion. They have the Dust for Zayats. This is looking like a very dead Bounty Hunter. Yeah, look at this. FN was hoping that he could get that last hit off. But it is gonna go over to our One True King.
They did steal a stack, though. He'll be a little upset about that. Doing good, though. 2-0-1 on the Wraith King at this point. He's got his ulti available, Solo getting some D wards top. They're still pressuring a bit. Void Spirit is here looking to jump in, but all this pressure to kill Puck might not pay off.
It's a difficult kill. I mean, they do have the lockdown though, right? They've got the silence. They're gonna open up. There's the taunt right back in. Another silence and a stone. Immersion gets himself a nice pick off on the Puck.
Yep, the key to that gank is Immersion not making Puck think that he's going to go on him. If he looks a little too aggressive there, Puck's going to get out of there. So I like that he played it safe, eventually went for the silence, and that gave them the perfect setup.
Definitely looked very, very fluent between the two of them there.
Yep.
Zayats keeping tabs on Legion to get closer and closer to that Blink Dagger, which is going to be even scarier, right? Because if Sven's just hanging out over there in his triangle, they happen to have the vision, that is just an easy pickoff every time.
Yep, so he's going to continue farming in the safe place. He TPs to the bot lane with this phase Mask of Menace, going for Echo Saber afterwards. So we'll probably see very consistent build from what we normally see from Sven's. I feel like he has a little bit better of a peak than a Wraith King at the moment, but that's assuming he can get his net worth kind of close. Maybe kill mid.
That was a nice try.
They could have Dream Coiled that. They didn't want to. Would have felt a little bit bad. Just a support kill, but save it for the big guns, I guess.
They're doing some hunting. They do notice Zayats has been on this this Keeper of the Light the entire time. They do have vision on him, of course, but Zayats will quickly rip that down and just continue to follow him around. Wants to get another track off. Just keep tabs on these two supports. They're pretty squishy. They'd make a nice nice kill.
Yep, they're doing a good job invading the enemy jungle once again, because you could jungle on your side of the map, but if you jungle on the enemy side of the map, now you're closer to where your enemies might be, so it makes taking fights a lot simpler. So your team is all going to be there, ready to go. And so having these D wards is going to help you make vision advantage, get vision advantage, and then make better initiations as a result, all while they're trying to buy time for Sven to catch up. And considering how his game started, he's catching up decently, making his own stacks, hitting his own ancients. He's getting some farm.
FN is spending a lot of time over in that top lane, hiding in the tree line. He's hoping maybe he can get a pick on someone. Looks like no one's gonna let him get that though. Smellick's running.
Do you see a smoke though? The
smoke
three heroes on the Radiant side.
That's the Blink Dagger too, keep in mind. Afterlife just picked that up. All right, they do manage to find the Coddle. Blinding Light comes out, plus the Dream Coil. It's just going to sidestep the Sphere, but eventually does get taken down. The roll forward, though, coming out from Immersion. And again, they do have this Blink Dagger, although the follow-up with the Mars Arena. Aragon, but he's got to get dueled up, and they need to get a little bit more damage. Do they have it? Yes, they do. That's going to be the first duel victory here for this Legion Commander. Zayat taking a lot of damage here, but he's got his Pugna, who's going to back him up as they go in with the Stormhammer after Afterlife, but it's just not enough here. Zayat actually goes back and a bit too greedy, as he will get taken down by DR.
And it took them way too long to kill that Coddle. That's a 5-position hero. You committed Coil, and he dodged so many spells. Really well played by him.
He had his Jansen shoes on there. He knew exactly where that spear was coming in.
And because then the fight got semi-committed, Crystallize rotates over as well, but by the time he got there, he had just enough time left on his ulti to slap once or twice, and then it was over. So then they had to disengage, back to farming. Not the end of the world, because I guess they got one track kill, but not the best for him.
No, and you can start to see that Wraith King is beginning to climb up in net worth. Yeah, look at this here. Nice blinding light. It's held in place, just sidesteps very tidily, and it takes them so long to get that kill. But then, you know, the fallout from Aragon, they start to disengage, but the duel comes out. They have the damage.
Good for the Legion Commander. He's got Gloves of Haste, passes, Blink Dagger. He's queuing up a Blade Mail next. Perfect Blade Mail game, of course. Enemies that deal a lot of damage, they're the perfect Blade Mail dual targets. So against the Sven, that's going to be somebody he might be able to get solo kills on eventually, depending. Yeah, normal Sven stuff. Echo Saber into BKB. That's his plan. No mobility for now, but his net worth is still behind Wraith King's, but it's close enough where he will be able to be competitive. But with Wraith King going Armlet into Radiance, his raw physical survivability is going to be huge, and his opponents do have a lot of right-click between Mars, between Sven, between Bounty Hunters. So I really like his itemization this game. I think it's perfect to go phase Armlet.
Do you think there's anything different that they could possibly do? Like, we have so many different things that just got added into Dota, right? Different items and whatnot. Is there anything that you'd like to see particularly on? So hold that thought. We have a Dream Claw and we have an Arena. FN, though, with the Yules, buys himself a little bit more time. But again, he is going to get speared over into the wall. But all of a sudden, it's over. FN's going to be able to walk out Immersion now. Left behind from the rest of his team. Does manage to get the Magnetize off. So he'll find the kill on Zayats here. DR, he's looking. He can't get up there, though. They need to be able to go and grab Crystallize. But he's just clipped up. Taking lessons from Arteezy, I guess, over here. So he's going to be able to TP out, though, and they'll find a duel on solo. Are they going to go out to Aragon? No, they've had enough.
Buys back for that. The blinding light, that was amazing that he cliffed him in some ways, because Sven maybe did want to fight, but in hindsight, maybe the fight went pretty good. So
yeah, you know, that could have gone.
Should have left him on the low ground.
Worse.
Not terrible, though. NoTechies gets their skirmish in. Sven ulti gets used. Sven does not die. Gets to use his ulti to jungle a little bit. They're going to be pretty happy with that. I really like the combo that they did. The puck coil into spear to break the tether while he gets pinned to the wall. But the Legion was so ready. Afterlife instantly dispels the Void Spirit to buy him more time there. That was pretty cool.
Definitely one that probably our analysts will want to look back on later on. It's funny how these things can start off so right and go so very wrong, though.
Back on the map here, Void Spirit's Yules is going to allow him to protect himself from Puck Coil, Pugna, and other heroes. Pugna's got his Glimmer Cape finished with Aetherlens, pretty standard build. You need that fast survivability, otherwise you end up dying a little bit too much for your net worth level. And Puck's still inching towards his Blink Dagger. He's got about 400 gold to go. Move towards the Merchant. He's got a lot of HP, though.
Well, we'll go for the Dream Coil follow-up with the Decrepify Life Drain, doing some work. He is Silence leashed up, but he eventually realizes, yes, I am just toast here. Afterlife nearby, hoping maybe he could have gotten some sort of a pick-off, maybe a duel. But unfortunately, Immersion just went down too fast.
In this sense, the Puck support feels good, right? Because it doesn't feel bad to use Dream Coil to kill supports. Because you're like, well, I'm a support, so what's the big deal, right? I'm killing 4-position heroes. Normally, if you're a core, you want to use those for your 1, 2, and 3 type heroes. So it's kind of cool when the game gets slow like this.
Duel? Yeah, I was about to say, Solo definitely just started walking up there. So that's going to be a little more dual damage for Afterlife.
He was so close to his blink. He was so close.
You got a little too greedy there.
Yeah. Gotta be careful giving Afterlife too much damage. It's up to 40 now. It's not incredible, but it's getting there.
He's got,
got a spot.
Unlimited scaling. All right, they're going to open up with the Arena over onto DR. Rest of the team, though, I think they're teleporting down. Spear will come out. Life Drain will be able to pop the Reincarnation, but guess who's here? It's FN. He's got his eyes on Zayats as that Bounty Hunter has been taken down by a different assassin here. The Void Spirit.
That's definitely a little bit of a weird fight. Going on a Wraith King who has ulti in front of their tier 1 towers. See, this is why it's dangerous to push this tower. It's very easy for your opponents to respond, and it's not very far from danger. So I guess they kill his ulti, but unless they make a rotation and do this again in the next minute and a half, I feel pretty weird about that kill.
Feels weird, man.
Nice.
All right. Well, I like the aggression that we are seeing, but again, it did feel a bit strange to use that as your target. And now it's going to get even harder to take down this Wraith King as he has just completed now the Radiance. Although Puck also getting that Blink Dagger will be able to help initiate with his Mars maybe a little bit more, but definitely need to find some different targets, I think.
Yeah. And on the bright side, at least, by doing these little movements, they are putting pressure on their opponents. They're forcing their opponents to teleport and react. And that's making it difficult for them to actually go gank the Sven, for example. And Sven's net worth still behind Wraith Kings, but it's getting a little closer. He's number 2 on the net worth chart right now. So as time continues, we will eventually see Sven representing something similar to what we saw in the previous patches. Just his power spike's going to cost a little bit more gold. But ultimately, being able to jump in and do insane amounts of damage can be really helpful, especially against Void Spirit type heroes.
Oh, there's the duel forward immediately over onto the puck. They're going to try to buy him a little bit more time, but again, that's another duel victory. Aragon next to fall? No, with the Pugna, he tries to keep him alive just long enough, but he's not going to be able to here. This little battery doing a lot of work, but not enough to save his teammates.
That was really tough there. Mars trying to save the dual damage, expecting maybe just one hero, and they just blew him up. And then Mars was really out of position as a result.
Zayats, they have vision on you, my friend, although Immersion may have gone just perhaps a little bit too far, but no, he's still alive. They have their eyes on the Sven. Down will go Zayats, and now they'll turn their attention over here to Crystallize. Malik trying to do everything he can to keep him alive, but they know he's the source of the power. They're going to go right after him. They're trying to get the kill onto the Pugna. He'll be able to take down Immersion. And Malik's just going to buy himself a little bit more time. He's just sitting there gazing deep into the eyes of Afterlife, but I don't think you win this battle, although the TP out, just like that, he's out.
Perfect. Well executed by him. He tries to keep his allies alive with his ulti once again, but the Spirit Vessel is doing some good work, and that was the rush on Earth Spirit being put on the right target. So Sven, before he gets BKB, he's going to be taking a lot of damage from that. He ends up going for the Lifesteal Talent, not the Warcry duration. So he should be able to fight to the death if there isn't a Spirit Vessel on him. But a little bit too much with the Blade Mail for him to fight.
Look at Afterlife. He's got his eyes over here on this Pugna, knows that they can't decrepify. They'll be able to go get the spear off. They need a little bit more damage, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to finish this duel this time around. They managed to finally get the kill onto this Legion commander. Get a little bit of revenge anyways, as now NoTechies on the hunt. They would love to catch FN if they can, but not going to be able to, not with that Aether Remnant being placed down and drawing the puck over into its arms.
Yeah, he's got no Dream Coil anyways, already used, so a little weird to see them all run at him, but at the very least what it does do is it ensures that they get to reclaim their tri-camp by running 4 heroes up there, and by reclaiming that, now they have some space again to play more neutral on the map.
This is very ambitious of Zayats here, showing up and poking FN, because there's always someone else nearby, and in this case it's Immersion.
Yeah, trying to get a little harassing, but Immersion being in the area. Punish him. Skill shots him with the rolling boulder and then pop to dust afterwards, so just a little bit of luck there, but or skill. Probably skill. We'll call it skill.
Sure, Purge. Whatever makes you happy here. We do have a smoke, though, coming out from the dynamic duo, as they'll drag Afterlife over as well. They're looking for whatever they can grab, and Solo's looking pretty nice right now. So is Malik. In fact, they'll go for Malik. They say, all right, you know, 2 squishies, we'll take 1, and maybe we'll get the other. No dual damage for the second kill, but at least some from Malik.
Once again, the tri-camp ends up being the dangerous place. And I really like how efficient that move was. Legion was off doing something, probably hitting creeps, having a nice dinner, I don't know. Coddle solo smokes, recalls him with his ulti, and he's instantly ready to initiate. So very good resource or time spent here by Live to Win.
I feel like there's a meme somewhere there, right? The come over, just nah, I'm busy hitting creeps. Oh yeah, well I got a Pugna, and you just see FN just run out the door, or not FN, the Legion commander run out the door, wants to get those kills, right?
It's ready to press his hotkeys, yeah. And now, basically, they've done such a good job shutting down Bounty Hunter's approaches on the map, and they just kind of need to buy time for Sven to get really farmed. But the last couple engagements have not looked so solid for them, so it makes it tough. But we do have BKBs finally on NoTechies, and that's the important thing. BKB on Mars, BKB on Sven. They've got Blink on Puck, so they do want to take a fight, but they have to be good engagements here. It's also an Ags on Void Spirit, though. If he gets a good initiation, this could be huge.
Look at this. The hunt. Jumps forward. Solo silence. Immediately leaves, though. They have more people there, so you can tell they just want to try to run away. It's not going to be able to run away completely, though. He's just going to get held into place. They have DR, though. He's jumping forward. He wants to try to help out. They're trying to get this dual victory damage, and they'll find it. Now Crystallize, though, has the BKB. Gets the kill on Seneko. FN now trying to run away. Solo, though, also very, very low. Does get taken out. As now Immersion on the hunt. Stormhammer comes out. This is not looking good now for the Sven. He is just getting hit by everyone. Dust comes out as well. They know that Malik's nearby. He had that Glimmer Cape. Silence, but nothing to stop that teleport.
I mean, they knew they had to take a fight here with their BKBs to try to catch up in this game, but they had to overextend pretty hard to try to get that disable. And after they jumped in, Void Spirit uses himself defensively, and unfortunately, the Mars missed his spear. It was a little bit too early and ends up not pinning into the wall, just making things even harder to win. And then Sven tried to DPS the guy, the Legion commander, after he had dueled somebody. That didn't work out. He finally goes in, picks off the Caudal, but at that point his BKB's gone and he gets run down. So this net worth disparity is just hurting them too much right now.
Was it a bit of like indecision too? Like it felt like multiple fights going on at the same time, trying to figure out where to focus. Hold that thought though, because we do have one big fight here up here on the high ground. Spear comes out over onto DR. Solo held into place. It's just too much damage. He's going to be the first to fall. To follow up with the Pugna. There's no Decrepify to save you, sir. They need one more hit to do the trick, and down goes Zayas here as now Aragon running for his life. This Pugna is just holding over into the corner, and he is the next to fall. So this Roche feeling really good. Man, FN is aggressive. Look at this guy taunting him right in. They've had enough purge. They call GG.
Boy, what a repeat of last game. It looks like very, very similar, I gotta say.